I believe this is the single most important thing that you are not taught about money in the monetary system. So my good friend and mentor, Bob Burnett, he's also an advisor for our company, Bitcoin Trading Cards. He talks about this post he just did about inflation and deflation and the difference between the two. And I truly think if people understood this one concept, everything in their life would change. They'd become infinitely wealthier over time. The fiat legacy Titanic sinking below the surf, slowly slipping below the water, the waves would completely, the iceberg would completely flip, and we'd have a new system within weeks, within months, if people understood this lesson. And this is the thing that they don't teach you in school. And I ask you, why? Why do they not teach this in school? So let's go through this, and you'll probably start to see why they don't teach this in school. So he gives an example. Bob says, if you want to learn inflation, deflation, think of this visual example. And I wish I had the whiteboard here. We're going to be doing a lot more whiteboard videos in the future, so I can clearly explain this. It says, say you have an imaginary room, and you divide it right down the middle, and you put all the goods of the world on one side of the room. All the goods, the cars, the surfboards, the school supplies, the jet skis, the houses, right? Like everything you can think of the world, all the products, the services, everything on one side. And then you put on the other side of this line, you put all of the currency in the world, all the money in the world, and you put it and split it there. If you had someone and you freeze it, as he says, you freeze it, and then you go and you build a chair, this beautiful chair, it could be a leather chair, this beautiful wood chair, and you add it to the side of the room with all the goods and services. Now, because the money, the currency side hasn't changed at all, now with an extra product or a service on that side with all the goods, you've now lowered all of the products and services on that side of the that side of the room, of all the goods and services. You now effectively lowered that because there's only so much money to go around. So the power of the purchasing power of that money has all gone up, because now you can use that same amount of money to buy more goods, because now there's the same amount, right? The same amount, money hasn't changed, and now there's more goods and services on that side, right? But if we take this and you take this with a room with a line divided by the middle, and you have the goods and services, the original goods and services on the side, and all the currency here, but instead you inflated the currency, you printed 10% more IOUs, 10% more currency units, and you distribute it to that side, and you didn't change this side of the room, the goods and services side. Now what happens? The people at the top, the people that get to spend that currency first, get to benefit, because they have it for doing nothing. They get to steal it into existence, counterfeit it into existence. They didn't do anything for it. They get to buy the goods and services, the same pool. And now the people that didn't counterfeit it or steal it into existence and steal the time and energy from other people, they now have rising prices, because now the people on this side say, hey, whoa, there's more money coming after these products. And now all the goods and services start rising instead, which is inflation. So when you inflate the currency and you print more currency units, but you don't produce anything, no goods and services to counterbalance that and to offset it, now you've created rising prices. As Milton Friedman said, inflation is anywhere and everywhere a monetary event. That's it. Monetary phenomenon. That's it. That's all it is. So when people say it's Putin this and it's supply chain that, blah, 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 that's not inflation. Those are inflating prices. Those are rising prices, but that's not inflation. Inflation is government and central banks and commercial banks printing more currency out of thin air, out of nowhere, and raising the supply of currency units. Like we just gave the example, printing 10% extra units, and there's still the same amount of goods and services here. So now there's more flooding the system that are chasing the same amount of goods and services. So I hope that makes sense. And Bob said it beautifully in his tweet. It was literally like 200 characters, and that was it. So way better than I can even say it. But again, if you have the goods and services on one side, and you have the same amount of currency units here, but you add goods and services to this side, now these all become effectively cheaper, and now you get wealthier because now your standard of living goes up because the prices are all coming down. That's the deflationary world, where the inflationary world is opposite, where you print currency and there's no added goods or services, and then prices are rising and your standard of living goes down. That's inflation. So let me know what your thoughts are. Let me know if that was a good explanation. Try to do this under 5 minutes. So I appreciate you coming to my TED Talk. Please share it out, because again, the algorithm hates truth. Trust but verify. Question everything with boldness, even the existence of God himself. And remember, this is freedom advice, not financial advice. Please let me know your thoughts on this, how we could improve it, make it simpler, make it easier. Again, Bob said it in like 200 words. He's incredibly smart, way smarter than me. So that's probably why. But I appreciate you. I look forward to seeing you on the next one.